All right, what is up, everybody? Here we go again. It's another Compile Swift live stream. This time around, I am going to be doing something a little bit different here. Hey, Coco Type, how you doing, buddy? Doesn't look like an environment Xcode would run in. Well spotted. What was the clue? So what we're going to be doing this time, I've been trying to do some videos, and I'm not quite there yet. So it's kind of rolled over into this live stream here. But it came up in a conversation I was having with someone the other day, and was talking about, Swift, and someone said, well, isn't that just a Mac thing? And it's like, no. And so where this ended up going was talking about the fact that, Swift is available on other platforms. So, as some of you may have spotted, I've got something a little different here. So let me explain my setup first of all. I am running Parallels VM here. It is so you know the full setup. I'm on a M1 Mac Mini, so an ARM chip, and I'm running the ARM version of Ubuntu Linux here, 20.04. And what I'm going to be doing here is we're going to be setting this up to do some Swift development. Now, there's a couple of steps, well, more than a couple of steps involved with that. And like I say, I've been working on a series of videos that I want to put up on the YouTube channel and up on compileswift.com. Not quite there yet. And I thought, well, this is a prime thing to put up on the stream while I'm doing this. So don't run away. It's still Swift, promise you. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to have to install the Swift toolchain here on Linux, which it's not that complicated, but there are a few things that can catch you out if you're not careful. And then I thought, well, the next logical step for that will be to put server side in there as well. So we're going to go ahead and set up Vapor on here. And Vapor, as some of you may know, is a great framework for server side Swift development. And, let's be honest, there's a lot of boxes out there running on Linux boxes. So why not promote the idea of having Swift on those as well? Interestingly enough, the outlier here is still Windows at this point. I still think that even though there are some great projects being done to have Windows, the Windows environment run Swift, I think Swift really needs to be on all of the major development platforms to say take it seriously is the wrong words. Really more to promote the expansion of communities and adoption of Swift, I guess. Coco Type here says, I've run Swift code on Linux, but I've never written Swift code on Linux. I know, right? I've played around with it before on Linux, and I've achieved my goal, my move goal for the day. Thank you, Apple Watch. But I've not really done it, and that was another reason too. Was I thought, hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we have some fun with this? So let's get into it, shall we? What I've got here, like I say, I'm running the ARM version, 64-bit, on here on a Parallels VM. It's a pretty fresh install. Basically, what I do is, the way this works for me is I have a series of sort of like, okay, I've installed Ubuntu and it's up to date, and that just hangs around. And I sort of use that almost, if you're familiar with Docker and the idea of the images, I use that as kind of like a Docker image, right? And what I do is I say, okay, I'm going to set this up here, and then I just clone it into a new VM and set up the tools and everything else that I need. So it's kind of like I have this fresh image of Ubuntu that I can go back to. I have one for Windows 10 as well. I really should set one up for the Mac, but I've not got it to work on an M1 Mac yet where I can set up Mac OS in Parallels. If any of you are familiar with that, I'd love to have a conversation with you so we can figure that out someday, because I'd love to run some VMs of the Mac OS. I know you can do it in Parallels. I just haven't got it working for me yet. I've tried it doing it from the installers and everything. Doesn't work for me. So let's go ahead and get into this. And I'm hoping that my audio and everything is okay. Bit of a weird setup this week. I had some new some hardware come in, and I've got everything set up. So if there's any issues, let me know. Side note, if I go off the air, we are due possibly to have some storms here in Texas where I am in DFW, and we're under tornado watch and stuff. So hopefully won't lose power, won't lose internet, and we're good to go. If I do disappear, hopefully I'll be back again someday. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. So let's open up Firefox. First thing we need to do here is get rid of that. There we go. We're going to go over to swift.org/download. And I hope everyone's having a good weekend. Coco Type says, oh man, I remember tornado watches. Those were always fun. Great fun. It's been very windy here this weekend. So I'm hoping, you know, at the moment, to give you an idea, it goes from like a 15% chance of storms and rain to 80% chance of storms and rain, and then back again. Whatever, Texas, right? First thing I want to note here for you all, especially if you're watching this on the replay and we don't, you know, you can ask questions. I have had some strange issues, and I'm going to guess, but I don't know for sure. This release version of Swift 5.5 on the Ubuntu 20.04, which is what I'm running, doesn't work for me. I'm wondering if this is the 32-bit version, because it needs to be the 64-bit version and on ARM. And this one here doesn't work for me. But previous experience, I'm going to go, since this is kind of a development, playing around, learning kind of thing, I'm actually going to go with this one here. So we're going to go real cutting edge here and use the snapshot. I think this is a 5.6 snapshot here, Ubuntu 20.04. So I know this one, for example, is the ARM architecture definitely, and 64-bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just start downloading that. It's a pretty big file, 446 meg. This is the Swift toolchain, right? This is essentially, you get this in Xcode on the Mac, so you don't even notice it. Interestingly, though, you can download it if you want to. But this is what you need. You can see there's Ubuntu here. There is CentOS. There is a Windows 10. I haven't messed with it. Maybe I should do that one week. That might be fun for us to play with, right? But we're not doing that this week. So that's going to be that. So how's everyone doing out there? We are now into October. Can you believe it? Boy, I'm hoping the video camera image looks okay. Let me check it here. Looks a little bright to me. I don't know. It's hard to know because I've got it on my brand new M1 iPad here, and that screen is so amazingly fantastic, but it's taken a little while to get used to watching things on there. I watched a bit of Foundation, on the Apple TV on this new iPad, and it was stunning on this new screen. But I don't know, the camera looks a little bit bright. I'm going to see if I can fix that up. Maybe it's just my screen. I don't know. Let me know. It makes me look really like ghostly transparent. Way brighter when you went to the all-white website. Looked fine, but it was just a desktop. Oh, you know what? You've got a point. I bet if I shrink this out the way, I bet it goes back. Let's see. Oh my God, yeah. Okay, it's the screen in front of me. Well, the good news, we won't be looking at this website too long. All right, I hope not. It's coming down now. We're at 103 meg, so let's see. Let's think about this. Okay, so we need the Swift toolchain. We're going to install Vapor. We're going to need some tools to edit the files because don't really want to be using like Vim or VI or Nano or any of that to do a whole bunch of that stuff. Leaning towards Visual Studio Code at this point, but I'll take recommendations for IDEs or code editors on Linux. It has been a while. I'll tell you what I used to use. When I used to have Ubuntu set up for a daily driver, when I did web development, I would use either Visual Studio Code, but most of the time I use Sublime Text. I'm not even sure if that's the same anymore or if there are better tools. Emacs, yeah, I know you're an Emacs fan, Coco Type. Emacs plus LSP mode. You know, maybe I should do that, right? At some point, I should force myself to do that just to make you proud. And I've got the YouTube chat up as well today, so I'm hoping that I don't miss it like I did last time. So let's put that one in there. All right. How are we doing? 180. You know, it's funny once you start streaming and get that upload going. It's funny how quickly your downloads take so much longer. It was like a minute earlier on when I was playing around with this. Oh, it is. I can't believe the weekend's already gone and I'm looking at Monday and I'm going to start coding again for reals. Whew. I'm also doing something a little different today because, you know, don't like to do the same thing all the time. I'm actually using my iPad in sidecar mode. So my iPad is acting as my second screen. So if you see me looking off to my left, which is probably your right, it's because I've got my chat tools running over here. So I can see them over there and not miss anything, hopefully. Sidecar mode is great on this iPad as well. The problem is you watch something on an amazing screen like that, then you go to another screen and it's like, oh, it's not as good. But so you know what I'm talking about, this iPad screen. I've got the iPad Pro, which is one of the ones that has the XDR screen, and oh my gosh, if I was like totally made of money and didn't, or someone was to buy these for me, this would convince me that those XDR Apple screens, they must be phenomenal, but I'm not going to pay that for one of those. You want an iPad app that's just a stream manager to offload all the stuff over there instead of running it as just another monitor too. I totally want that. Here's the thing. I'm using Streamlabs right now. Love Streamlabs. I've used Restream when I'm doing my game streaming on UiBuzz. That's uibuzz.com, by the way. And you know, they're great. But I really think, you know, I know some of them have apps, like Streamlabs has an app that you can put on the iPad or iOS, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, they're not that great, right? If I could have one tool, and I get it, I know where this is going. Well, yeah, I need to write my own tool, right? Or Coco Type, maybe you could write it for us. Where I could have my stream chat from YouTube, my stream chat from Streamlabs, because here's the funny thing, Restream has a really cool thing where it will bring in all the chats from all the different platforms into one, right? So if you use either a plugin in OBS or the Restream version of OBS, you see everything there in one chat. I wish Streamlabs had it as well, but it doesn't, unfortunately. All right, how are we doing? 446 meg. Okay. 446. We're getting there. We're getting there. So what do we think? Am I missing anything here? I think at least to get started, Swift toolchain, Vapor. That'll get everything up and running. Choose the dev tools. I don't know. Does anyone know Coco Type? Do you know if... I'm assuming Swift Package Manager runs on Linux as well. Because isn't that how this toolchain sort of partly works? Not sure. A lot of discovery for me on this. Complete side note while it's doing this. I've been playing the Amazon game New World, and it's fantastic. So if you're a gamer and you're into like the open world stuff, it looks amazing and it runs great. But I kind of wish they had a Mac version. All right, nearly there. And what else, the other things we're going to need, I'll open it up here because the next step is going to be I'll open up the terminal. All right, and we're going to be doing everything else in the terminal as far as setup here. Coco Type says, I assume so. Like I said, I haven't done any development inside Linux, just running it after developing Xcode. And, you know, so I'm curious, Coco Type, how did that work out for you? So you did all the development and everything in Xcode, and then what? You just pulled down the source code from your repo onto the Linux machine and ran it that way? Is that how you did it, basically? And also with that, are there any differences that we should know about? Anything to watch out for? All right, this is done. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Hopefully yep, there you go. The crazy white face has gone away. Like my total ghosty white face. Okay. Let's go to the downloads folder. Make this nice and big. Hopefully, can you all read that? I wonder how the hell I make this bigger if I had to. That font probably looks a bit small on the stream, right? Let's go. $16. That's probably way more readable, right? Certainly readable this end. Vapor gives you a Docker file on init. Just built the image on macOS and pushed it to Minute. Ah, okay, you did it via Docker. Okay, all right. I know. See, that's the other interesting thing too. And I was toying around doing it this way, but I wanted to do these videos. But I think I know there's a pre-built Docker image for Swift, and that I might pull that down and play with that during the week as well. We'll see how that goes, or maybe next weekend's stream. Okay, so let's do tar xvf. We need to extract these files here. Crazy long file name. I wonder how many people are looking at this go, oh, Swift. And then they look at the stream and they see Linux and they're like, oh, nope. All right. Let's move that to something else because I'm going to rename that because there's no way I'm going to remember all that. All right. Actually, the one I need to do is the user. Let's call it Swift-5. I'm pretty sure this nightly build is a 5.6 dev. Hopefully I'll get some videos out for this in the week once I've got all this perfected for people who just were like, just show me the short version. How did you resolve this in the end? All right. Don't need the Swift dev anymore. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Now, let me think. I need to add, next step is going to be you're going to want to add this to your environment so that you can run Swift from anywhere. So let me think about that for a second. I made myself a note here somewhere so I didn't have to remember it. Let's see. I may have it on my clipboard, actually. Hang on. I think I do. Yeah, okay. Oh, let's think. Oh, I need to install... I'm going to use Vim here because I just used to using Vim. All right, to get this working, what you're going to want to do here is... Like I say, you're going to want it set up so that you can run the Swift tools from anywhere on the system here. So I'm going to go, I'm going to edit the bash profile for the user. Let's go to the end. And then let's see if I can paste that in there. All right. So what we're doing here, for those of you who don't know, we're just setting the path to say, hey, if I type Swift, for example, please know about this path because this is where the Swift tool exists on the system to run it. Hopefully that should make sense to everybody. Should be pretty familiar to you, even if you're not familiar with the Linux, because it's pretty much the same as when you add a path on a Mac. If you've ever used the terminal on the Mac, same difference. Okay, I think that's the right path. Let's Swift-5.6-dev. Let's have a look. Swift -5.6-dev, and just put it to the bin. All right, let's find out. That should it be up and running. So if I now just type Swift, fingers crossed, folks, -version. Uh-oh. What did I not do? Did I get the path wrong here? Let me check that. All right. Do you need the absolute path instead of relative? You can. Oh, actually, you know what? You're right. Here's what I missed. So you need the absolute path, but you can sort of do it the way you do it on a Mac, right? So I didn't need to go all the way down. I can just say the users folder /downloads. Thank you, Coco Swift. There you go. So users folder /downloads, yada, 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 boom, like that. That's probably what the problem is. There you go. Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, next up. So we've now got Swift running. So for example, just to prove it, if we run the Swift REPL, I should be able to do like my site equals compileswift.com, and then we're just doing some really stupidly simple Swift here to make sure that it's working. My site. There you go. It's working. All right. Next up, let's think. Okay, let's do Vapor. So we've got the Swift toolchain working. That's all you got to do. He says like it's like nothing, but that's what you got to do. Let's see. Vapor. Okay. I can't recall. I think you got to, I think if I remember rightly, you clone down the repo. Yeah, okay, vapor.code. So let's go to the docs. Install Linux. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, yeah, that's what we want right here. So let's put this in downloads folder, because this is going to be a temporary thing. I missed the G, so let's clone the Vapor repo. Oh, let's install Git first. Can't wait for the SPM tooling stuff to land in 5.6 so you don't have to do ridiculous things like that, right? I'm really starting to feel comfortable with the Swift package manager, which is good because I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. I know it's good and everything else, but you know when you just get so used to like Coco pods and it's everywhere and you put it in everything. But I do, you know, it's a shame that Xcode never had the integration of Coco pods like it does with Swift package manager, but hey, that's the way it goes, right? It's good to have options. Oh, I think I hear the storm coming outside my window here. So fingers crossed we don't lose electricity and the internet. But if we do, folks, I'll try and get back, or we'll finish this next week. Whichever happens. All right, so we have now got Git installed. Let's clone the repo. Coco Swift, I've missed your last couple of streams, but I have been catching up on the videos. I gotta catch up on, stay up to date on that. It's a crazy week for me. I always like to see what you and everybody else is up to. It's gonna take a little bit to pull these down. Just I'm hoping. So here's the beauty of this. I've perfected my sort of mobile version of recording podcasts. So hopefully, if the worst happens and I lose internet and I lose power and everything else, I got to record this week's episode of the Compile Swift podcast tonight, and I'll do that on my iPad because I've got the tools on there for it as well. You can go to compileswift.com/podcast. You'll find it there. And I want to say thank you to everybody out there that I completely forgot to check. And I went and looked and saw that I've got a bunch of 5-star ratings for the podcast and a review. So thank you to all of you for that. I tremendously appreciate it. It means an awful lot to me. It really does. Okay, so we've got the toolbox downloaded. So we're going to go into the folder here. And everything should be set up. And I should, if I remember rightly, just be able to go make. And it's now going to run a bunch of scripts and make and install this Vapor for us. So what do we think? Do we think we're going to get the final drop this week for macOS Monterey? You think we're going to see that come out in the final version? I still am not running it as my regular driver yet, but I have seen that some of my audio apps that were giving me some issues have been updated. So we'll see. I'm not sure yet that I'm ready to run macOS Monterey as my regular thing. It's another reason I'd like to set it up on a Parallels VM. And either one or the other, right? I'd either like to have Monterey on the VM or Big Sur on the VM to roll backwards or forwards, depending on which way I need to go, until everything is truly compatible. Compulsive says, I hope not. I'm not ready for another new OS release yet. Yeah, me neither. And not that anything on Monterey has been truly dreadful for me or anything, but I'm so busy with work at the moment, which is great, and projects and everything else, personal projects, that I'm just not ready to have to deal with upgrading my machine unless I have to, right? And I really don't want to have to do it just yet. So I want to just sort of float around, keep an eye on things like the iOS folks, Slack chat group and that, and see how it goes for everyone else first. I just need to make sure all of my daily driver tools are fully compatible with no issues first. This is probably a pretty big repo at this point, I would think. Boy, the rain's really coming up against my window out here. Let me know if you can hear the storm over the microphone. Be interesting. Oh, dude. Okay, just kidding. Hello? What in the world? I know Coco Type can't be spamming my chat. That's not even possible. What happened there? Coco Type, please refrain from spamming What? Coco Type, buddy, I don't know what just happened in the chat, but it didn't like something you did. Gosh, I'm really hoping it didn't kill out my internet or something like that. Looks like it's still building. Coco Type, sorry, buddy. I typed, heard that one in all caps when that thunderstorm. That's funny. Wow, I'll have to change that because I don't care if you type in all caps. That's fine. I'm telling you, you know when you say something and then it happens and you're like, oh, shoot. Hey, Coco Type, you know what? funny thing. So you're the first person. You are going down in history as the first person to hit my spam box unintentionally. And your auto mod didn't like it. Yeah, that's funny because I just left it turned on out of the box. I'll have to go look at that. Wow, we're developers. We're supposed to be able to use all caps, right? Okay, so we've got the tools installed there. That should be it. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna close it out, run it again, and then we're just gonna do. Let's make sure Vapor's installed and running. Vapor dash. Nope. Oh, you know what? I didn't do install. Oh, Peter. I was testing you all there. Oh, I got to do it again. Okay, let's just do it. Wow, I can't believe I didn't put install on the end. I will go full E Cummings mode. That's funny. Oh, did it? Okay, let's check that again. Shall I tempt fate and be like, go on, make the thunder again. I dare you. Okay, so didn't sound so bad. We've got Swift installed. We've got Vapor installed. Okay, that's what we need to get everything up and running here. Let me think. So before I go any further, it's good to clean up, right? So I don't need the toolbox anymore because that's installed. Swift 5.6, that needs to stay in that folder there. By the way, just so you all know, in case you didn't, you can put these tools. I mean, you can put this any way you want as long as the path points to it. You're good. Okay. So that is set up. Let's make sure everything runs though here. So let's just go into the very quick hello world. And then let's just do this. So into the documents folder, we're going to make projects. And then I like to have a web one as well. All right. Oh, there it goes. Okay. No caps. Vapor. Gosh, it's been a while. Vapor new. Hello-n. Coco Type says, I was about to ask if there was any lightning, since there's a small click noise on the mic every so often that I thought might be related, but I guess we know the answer to that now. Yeah. If we start to see like the electricity cause my hair to stand on end, we all know to run for cover. Right. Please tell me who you are. Oh, geez. Okay. It's okay. Come on. There we go. It's funny that it won't run that without. That's interesting. I've never noticed that before. I guess because I normally have Git installed and configured. It's not something I've ever thought about that it would be needed. There we go. I'm surprised that Vapor needs that, but I guess it makes sense, right? Because of some of the options you choose in the template. Oh boy. Yeah, I see the lightning coming through the blinds. Do you think anyone got a Frankenstein monster? I can go stick it outside. We get it hit by lightning. See if it holds true to the movie. Domain NS Coco error domain file with that name already exists. Did I have? Is it because I had one that failed? Maybe it is. Let's just clean all of this up, right? I'm just waiting for the next huge crack of thunder. It's gonna be interesting to play this video back to see how that sounds on the microphone then. Yeah. All right, let's run this again. There we go. Frankenstein's monster was my Halloween stream from last year. Oh, really? I'll have to go look that up. Cool. Doing something new this year. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to ask you what it is. We'll wait and see, right? Okay, here we go. Right, so let's make sure all of this is running. Use Vapor Xcode to open the project in Xcode. Not gonna happen. Is it Vapor Run if I remember rightly? Doing something new this year. Do it. See what happens. Okay, you know what? For you, I'm gonna do it just so we can both look and go, oh, look, doesn't work. Wouldn't it be weird if I did it and it opened up Xcode on the Mac side instead of in the VM? Wouldn't that be freaky? Oh, wouldn't that be cool, actually? Right? Why didn't I think of that? If I opened up that, oh, you know what? Yeah, I could just open up that folder, share it back to the Mac via Parallels VM, and then work with it in Xcode, I guess. Wouldn't that be weird? It just builds and installs a secret Ubuntu version of Xcode. Don't you dare go starting those rumors. Oh, boy. And, you know what? Wouldn't it be funny? It came back and they're like, and they're going to charge you 35% on the App Store because they know you used Linux to make it and didn't buy a Mac. That'd be so funny. Coco Type, have you upgraded? And for anyone else out there watching, has everybody upgraded to Xcode 13? I have it on one of my machines just to play around, and you know the early release versions were fine, but it's different when you're talking production. But I'm still using Xcode 12 for production right now. I'm just curious how many people are using Xcode 13 as a production tool at this point. I'm getting I'm paranoid this week about my YouTube chat, and I'm looking at it, and so far there's nothing in there. So I'm hoping it's still working. I'd hate for it to be like last week where there was chat in there and I missed it. I felt real bad about that. Coco Type says, I basically switched in June and never looked back. Okay, good for you. So are you, I guess what you're saying is your next push to production is going to be via an Xcode 13, right? Is this a good time to point out that it's raining, but the thunder and lightning is? Well, the lightning's there, but the thunder stopped. I'm waiting for the heavens to tell me otherwise. You've already done several pushes to production from 13. Okay, cool. Yeah, and if anyone, like I say, has run Mac OS and a Parallels VM out there, let me know how you got it installed, because I have not got it to work. It does not see the, I don't know if it's because I'm on an M1 Mac here, but it doesn't see the recovery partition to offer it to install from, and I can't install it from a USB stick via the, you know, download the installer from the store, copy it to a stick and so on. That method doesn't work for me either. I'm assuming it's because it's a M1 Mac, I don't know. Coco Type says we had to ship an iOS 15 update for the day job, so we needed to use 13 for the release there. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I remember now you said that you were using some iOS 15 specific features. Has that worked out good for you? You've had good responses from that? or I should say, or no complaints. By the time this is finished downloading and doing it, I'm going to have forgotten what the hell it was doing. Yeah, no more complaint. More no complaints than positive response. Sweet. Cool. Emitting module vapor. Doesn't that sound so engineering? We have emitted the module. All right. Okay, there we go. Let's open this up. Hopefully we should see a web page and we know that a vapor is up and running and serving. Please. Well, I clicked the link, it didn't load it, so let's just copy it, I guess. I could type it in, but I'm so lazy. Oh, didn't copy it either. All right. I just do it. Was it HTTPS? No. Come on. I see some logging happening. That's a good sign. There you go. Sweet. So there you go. We've got Vapor running and it's serving it up locally here. And we have everything else installed as well. Fantastic. Let's do that. Okay. So we're not going to need that one anymore. Everything's good. I think I'm going to go for about another 10 minutes here to make it an hour, and then, because this, I don't know, the weather, I don't know how flaky it's going to get here on the internet side of things, but it's starting to feel a little glitchy. Looks like the stream's still coming through as far as I can tell. Still see my ugly face on the camera, so, you know. Okay, let's see. We should do... let's do Sublime Text. Why not? I think it's up to 4. I have a license for 3. I never did get a license for 4. Alright, let's just do a whole bunch of copying and pasting here. I'm not going to type all this in. Oh. Did I hit the wrong key? Got to run Vapor X. Oh, yes, sorry, so I do. Any votes? What do you think? Ah, who knew? Ah, that is so funny. Oh, dang it. No, hang on. False result. I just... See, I was too quick, wasn't I? Because I did it. Okay, while it's cloning that in the background. There we go. Okay. I can't believe I'm doing this when we all know what's going to happen. Oh, sorry, buddy. Wherever that hidden version of Xcode is, wouldn't that be a great rumor to start on the internet? Secret version of Xcode for Linux discovered. All right. It would have been so awesome if it came up and said, like, sorry, you're not on a Mac. Take the stable channel. Oh, all right. I can type that in. I'll create my own emacs. All right. That should take care of that for us. Look at us getting an environment up and running. I haven't really used Sublime Text 4 that much. Like I say, I have a paid license version for, well, it was 2, then 3, I think, or maybe just straight 3. But I haven't upgraded the license for 4 because I'm using Nova so much on the Mac now that, and I didn't renew my license for the JetBrains tools either. JetBrains tools would be a good one for Linux. All right. Does it do the shortcut by default? It does. Look at that. How cool is that? All right. So there we go. That's our Hello World project source code files right there. So we've got an IDE. It's funny that it doesn't see it as Swift though, right? Where's Swift? Swift should be on there. Control Shift P. Install the package for Swift. Install package control should already be installed. Install package Swift. Not a big version number on that one. Ooh, there's an app code for Linux to do Vapor Dev in. Is there one? That's a good question. I don't like using app code on the Mac. Let's have a look. I mean, there couldn't be, right? Could there? Whew. No, there isn't. Boy, if there was, that could have been a license renew right there. Sorry. Oh, that would have been cool. All right. That is not a lot of... I don't know. It's not a big version number on that, right? I know, right? Bummer. That would have been so amazing, wouldn't it? Is packagecontrol.io still a thing? Yes, it is. $81K of installs. Last modified 5 years ago, though. I don't know. What do we think? 5 years ago is a long time to be out of date in the Swift world. It's okay. Not like Swift has changed that much in 5 years. Yeah, there you go. See? Great minds. I don't think that's one I want to go with. That just doesn't feel appropriate, right? There's got to be a better one than that. I mean, even BB Edit has one. Swift formatter, syntax checker, completion, decent Swift syntax. Swift foundation, autocomplete. Some linters, really? They're telling me there's not one? Well, that's a little disappointing, isn't it? Okay, maybe I do should use Visual Studio Code after all. Let's try that. I mean, this thing works everywhere. Oh, wait. I see the one. No, go away. I want the ARM64 right there, please. I wonder if I can also... No, let's do it via this one. All right, come on. All right, did that finish? Okay. Oh, I'm an idiot. Why am I trying to do that? You can tell it's been a while since I did this, right? Am I doing this wrong? I got a really bad feeling I'm doing this wrong. Oh God, I forgot all about D package. Wow, thank you. I can't even remember how to use it. Oh my God, how embarrassing is this? Hang on. Just occurred to me, it may actually exist. Oh, what's the name of that thing on here? It's like its own store. Can't remember the name of it. It's probably in there, right? Did they take it out? I'm sure there used to be a... I'm sure there used to be a app store or something in Ubuntu, wasn't there? Yeah, well, that'll do it. We'll just do it that way. Either that or just find that file in the browser and double click it. Yeah, that's the other way to go. I think that's how I used to do it, but I swear that Ubuntu had its own software store thing built in, or certainly did at some point. There you go. Sweet. Get rid of that. Well, the good thing is with Visual Studio, I know I have a gist up on GitHub with all my plugins and settings and everything else. So that'll be a good thing to set up at some point, and then I don't have to remember anything. But right now, do you trust the authors of the files in this folder? Yeah. There we go. Thank you. All right, well, Visual Studio Code wins for now. I'm the author of the files in this folder. Of course I don't trust him. Yeah. Do you trust your own code? No. That's why I have code reviews. So other people cannot trust my code as well, and I cannot trust theirs. That's why we do these things. Okay, beautiful. All right, so let's just github.com. Oh, but of course now I'm going to have to sign in and find all my credentials and everything else. Let me think. One password for Linux would be awesome right about now. Is that a thing? That's going to be a thing eventually, right? All right. I'm not going to let you see my password here. Give me 1 second. I think it's already a thing, and there's always been a way. Well, I cheated because I got it. I just ran one password on the Mac here and got it there, but I do have one of their subscription plans. It's good to know it's already a thing on Linux. It never even occurred to me to this point. I know it was talk about because of the whole, cross-platform thing that they're doing. All right, give me 1 second here. We'll be right back. All right, look at that. As if by magic we're logged in. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit the mic. I'm sure I just gave you all a bloody great headache. Visual Studio Code. No, Okay, I know I got one in here somewhere. There it is, right there. It's probably going to want that number. Let's find out. Please sign in to synchronize your data access. Sign in with GitHub. Oh, great. Maybe I don't even have to do anything more than that. It'll just find it. Wouldn't that be great? What's the wow for, Coco Type? Oh, look how interesting it gets when you don't have the font on the machine. Oh, things get really funky when you don't have the font. The magical signing in. Well, that happens. You go away for 2 seconds, you come back, look at that. Couldn't start client Python tools. All right. Well, that's not going to hurt. Geez, I must have a lot of extensions. Yeah, you told me about the Python thing already. All right, did it finish? Let's find out. Yeah, that font's not going to go great, is it? Let me think, what font did I use? Oh, it's probably set for... I think I used the JetBrains font. Yeah, JetBrains Mono. Okay. Wait, let me think about this for a second. It's going to be a way to do that. We can surely get that. Oh, wait. Is there a convenient script? That is the font. Nothing like coding in Times New Roman. Cause I can't think of worse, but we will not mention that other font beginning with C. Okay, kind of regretting doing that right now. Please don't look any worse. Sorry, there goes Times New Roman. Just the thought of just having to write code with that font would be awful. It'd be like using some fancy script thing. Oh my god, one of those brush fonts. Okay, great. Okay, so here we are, just a fraction over an hour later. Everything is set up. Everything is running. We've got our code editor. We've got our tools installed. We're all good to go, I think. So we're going to leave it right there for now while I'm chancing my luck with the weather. But this is fantastic. So hopefully this has given me all the information I need this week, fingers crossed, to make my videos that I can put up to just shorten this whole thing to about 10 minutes long and say, here's how you install Swift on Linux. Here's how you install Vapor on Linux. Go have fun with it. And then next time, what do you think? I think we're going to do one of two things. We definitely should keep this going just so I can promote the whole Swift on a different platform thing. But it's a bit weird to not have Xcode. So next time around, we'll have some fun with that. Coco Type says, there we go. For April Fool's 2022, I'll stream me coding. You're on, buddy. How about this? If you do that, if you're going to code on April Fool's, because I'm going to hold you to it, on Zapfino, I will code with Comic Sans in it in April Fool's. Which one of us got the worst deal? I'm not sure that either of us are a winner on that one. Okay, that is our tool chain set up, right? So we've got everything set up to now do Swift development on Linux. I do want to look at doing Swift development set up on Windows as well for those who are curious, because I just think it's a good thing to have it on multiple platforms. However, rest assured, don't worry. Doing it on the Mac using Xcode is not going anywhere anytime soon. That is my bread and butter, everyday life, and that's the way it's going to be. But it's fun to set these things up because we can do it and figure it out. And hey, you know what? If by setting it up on Ubuntu, setting it up on Windows, gets more people writing in Swift, that's got to be a good thing, right? The more people we have putting code out there into the code base, and with that, I haven't done Hacktoberfest this year. Did it last year. Didn't get a chance to do it this year because I knew I'd be too busy. And sure enough, it's working out that way. But I really hope some of you are doing that. That Hacktoberfest is such a fun thing to do. Let me know if you are. Let me know. Reach out to me. Compile Swift on the social networks. CompileSwift.com. Really love to see what's going on with that. Okay, folks. We're going to leave it there. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Coco Type, thank you for hanging out, buddy. It's always a pleasure. Gonna catch up on your videos this week. And folks, make sure you go see Coco Type's stream. He's way awesome. And I'm sure he won't mind me saying that. With that, have a great weekend. I'm hoping that maybe me and the weather are going to get along better here for the rest of the night. Good luck to everybody. If you're in the line of Texas storms like I am, stay safe out there. See you in the week. Have fun. Have a great Monday, everybody. I'm going to try and record the Compile Swift podcast tonight, compileswift.com/podcast. If I don't get it done tonight because of the weather, I will try and get it done in the week as early as possible. With that, take care of yourselves. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.